No. Without mocking you.
Who aren't tough.
You bully me, bro. I don't give a shit about your UFC bullshit. I will fucking come right at you.
I could pin you on the ground right now and put my dick in your mouth.
You could try.
For no reason.
You could try. And guess what?
Just because it's the nice
Guess
Saturday
what? I would fucking come right to your house.
Joe Rogan. Love him or hate him, the man knows how to stir the pot. His podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, isn't just a hit. It's a cultural phenomenon, with Spotify shelling out millions to keep it exclusive. But beyond the laughs, wild stories, and strange guests, some episodes take a turn, a hard turn. Today, we're diving into Joe Rogan's most heated, controversial, and flat-out uncomfortable podcast moments. Times where guests pushed buttons, crossed lines, or clashed with the host himself. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the celebrity stories that actually matter. Let's jump in. Number 1, Andrew Hill.
Show me something good, because this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. That guy's running into him. See, this is the thing with all these goddamn demonstrations. That guy's willingly cooperating.
Well, yeah, I mean,
look at that.
He's practicing the technique, and practicing technique, you either cooperate or your arm breaks.
Well, this isn't even cooperating. This guy's throwing himself on the ground. This is silly. The guy's just standing there. This would never work against a trained fighter. Never. Not in a million years. You get an NCAA Division I wrestler. He's going to shoot on this guy, and this guy's going to be on his head in seconds. It just doesn't work.
When neuroscientist Andrew Hill came on the podcast and casually mentioned he practiced Aikido, things got messy. Rogan, who's been steeped in martial arts his whole life and serves as a UFC commentator, wasn't having any of it. Hill showed clips of Aikido demonstrations, and Rogan immediately started tearing them apart.
This is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at nonsense.
Well, you're looking at people practicing techniques, not a multi.
Yeah, let's see the multi. What should he look for?
Exposition, I think, and I think it was in Japan. Maybe an
exhibition or exposition.
I think it was exhibition.
There's a lot of fuckery when it comes to martial arts, and a lot of people that get trapped into all this fuckery. And I've met a lot of people that are very intelligent people that swear that their sensei is the guy that has the answers to all this jazz. This motherfucker's not stopping anybody from taking him down.
This would never work against a trained fighter, he said, almost laughing. A D1 wrestler would dump this guy on his head in seconds. Joe was polite enough not to completely humiliate Hill, but it was clear Rogan thought the martial art was a joke and didn't mind saying so.
I'm telling you right now, that old dude was clothesline technique. Well, this is hard to see with that kind of shit. Those demonstrations
it's also hard to pick apart, from here.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in the dojo watching the footwork, you might.
There's this old judo, but the way he moved was logical. I mean, I understood that what he was doing was effective.
Yeah.
Based on my knowledge of the human body and movement. I'm watching some cooperation there. I'm watching a guy run into this guy's punches or this guy's forearm.
Number 2, Brian Redban. Brian Redban, one of Rogan's early co-hosts and friends, slowly pushed the limits of what Rogan tolerated. While Redban brought a laid-back energy to the show, he also started using it as a personal promo machine. On one episode, he awkwardly shifted the topic to talk about a review of his stand-up gig. Rogan, visibly annoyed, called him out. The vibe shifted, and soon after, so did Redban's involvement in the show. Lesson learned: don't hijack Rogan's podcast to boost your own ego. Number 3, Jamie Kilstein.
Hello, freak bitches.
Okay, so I am known as this male feminist, which again, and it kind of becomes my thing. So I go on your show.
That part was ignored conveniently.
The whole part where he's just like, what's funny about it? And like, that's a good, technically, that's an anti-rape joke, right?
Exactly. Which if you know Daniel, that's how he thinks.
Right.
He's not a bad guy in any sense of the word.
And that's a great way, but that has to do with these echo chambers where I'm like, well, I didn't fucking hear that part of it.
One of the most uncomfortable moments in JRE history came when comedian Jamie Kilstein appeared on the show. The two got into a tense exchange about one of Kilstein's controversial jokes involving assault.
Just started screaming like, don't talk about it. And like, so they ignored her the whole time. And my girlfriend and I would look over, and then she would like have another sip of her drink and watch the show and giggle, and then rape would come up. And she was like, stop, and she would just scream, but like she didn't just, and I'm not trying to sound big to me, by the way,
For the sake of honesty, the real issue came not just because of that, but because of your characterization.
The next day.
Yeah.
Totally. So the next day...
There's a video out about it that someone put together called the Kilstein Delusion.
Yeah, and some of that shit was taken out of context. Some of that shit I will completely like own up to. I watched it like once. I mean...
Kilstein defended it, saying the context made it clear. It was supposed to be satire. Rogan wasn't convinced. When Kilstein later described how his life unraveled after that, losing his manager, being hacked and blacklisted from the comedy community, Joe didn't show much sympathy. Instead, he zeroed in on Kilstein's logic, calling it crazy to suggest that being murdered was better than surviving assault.
I lost my managers. I was having like someone hacked my Twitter and just wrote rape all over it. And I was kind of like,
why'd you lose your manager?
They said it was because I don't cooperate with the comedy community.
Number 4, Brian Callen. Brian Callen is a longtime friend of Rogan's and a frequent guest, but even friends aren't immune to being checked. In one episode, Callen went on a bizarre rant about being bullied and how it supposedly turned him into a killer.
He was looking.
You know what
down
happened to
there.
me? I got bullied for a full year, and it turned me into a fucking. If somebody tried to bully me, I'll show up at your fucking house and kill you. That's what happens. I get so angry.
I'm not buying that.
I hate when he
even
talks like
remotely.
that. I hate when.
Hey,
That's
bro,
not true.
You fucking bully me.
If I
you know
bully
you
you,
try
problem
bullying me
is,
right
bro?
now,
You know
motherfucker.
what your problem is?
Hold on, let me
Here's
handle
your
this.
problem.
You're not that guy, Joe said bluntly, questioning how long Callen tolerated toxic people before pretending to snap. It was clear Rogan had reached his limit with the tough guy facade and wasn't afraid to call BS even on air.
I mean, man, you know what I would do? And I'm like,
I get mad.
why are you talking to me
It's
like
not
this?
that you get mad. It's that you hang around with people for a long time. You hung around with people that allowed you to talk like that.
No.
Without mocking you.
Who aren't
No.
tough.
You bully me, bro. I don't
you
give a
fuck
shit
up
about
a
your
demon-
UFC bullshit. I will fucking come right at you.
I could pin you on the ground right now and put
you
my
could
dick
try.
in your mouth.
You could
for
try.
no reason.
You could try, and guess
Just
what?
because it's the nice
Guess
Saturday
what? I would
out.
fucking come right to your house.
Number 5, Adam Conover.
But it is a choice, right? I mean, if you're
no.
choosing to add hormones to a child's body, that's a choice.
It's
Or
a
hormone
choice on the
blockers.
it's a choice on the part of the parent. It's not a choice on the part of the child to like in the same
not-
way that being
When Adam Conover, comedian and host of Adam Ruins Everything, showed up to talk gender identity and trans rights, things quickly turned philosophical and political. Adam argued passionately that gender-affirming care, including hormone treatment, was essential for trans youth, and that not receiving it can cause immense suffering. Rogan, while respectful, challenged the data.
the experience of being trans and not receiving hormones, right, and not having the body that you identify with, the feeling of dysphoria, right, is extremely like painful and is a condition unto itself, right?
Especially the link between hormone therapy and suicide prevention. He argued that the high suicide rates remain, pre-op or post-op. The debate never got ugly, but it was deeply uncomfortable.
Do gender confirmation via hormones. And
you know that doesn't affect the suicide rate. The suicide rate for trans people is very high, post-op and pre-op. It really doesn't get affected by whether or not you treat them.
well, the operation,
And then
one
the question could be,
misconception
like,
is
why is that? Is that because they're not accepted by society and we're not more loving?
reflecting the huge cultural divide on these issues. It wasn't just a clash of facts, it was a clash of beliefs. Number 6, Joey Diaz.
Do you feel like
Tell
people
you
are more
something, you
sensitive?
won't- I know you won't get mad at me. I feel the energy is different, but guess what, G?
What?
It don't apply to me. It don't apply to me. Doesn't apply to me, and it's never going to apply to me. Okay? I understand me shooting your special on your network. You don't want me to use certain words. There's parts, and I get that. This is a business.
Right.
This is a business, and I got mouths to feed.
Joey Diaz doesn't hold back. Ever. As a Cuban American raised in a rough neighborhood, his language, stories, and references often veer into unfiltered territory. In one episode, he pushed back against sensitivity culture, saying some words just didn't apply to him, no matter what the public thought.
Okay? And I'm sorry.
No.
This is just
this
so you
is-
know.
You
No!
shouldn't be sorry. You're not
This is
supposed
just
to
so
be
you know.
sorry.
You know what I put on yesterday? And this is it. This is it because it's time.
What?
We're not taking it no more. I'm not taking it no more. I put on an album, and again, I'm very sorry if I offend somebody. I didn't name it this, he did. So take your fucking problem up with him. Name of the album is Bicentennial Nigga.
Joe, rather than censoring him, let him talk. And while he didn't condone everything, he didn't shut him down either. It sparked a debate online. Is it authenticity or is it irresponsibility? Number 7, the N-word controversy.
I'm making this video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast.
This one nearly tanked his career. A compilation video surfaced showing Rogan saying the N-word multiple times across past episodes. Clips he claimed were taken out of context. Still, it didn't matter. Public pressure exploded, with celebrities like The Rock withdrawing support after initially defending him.
Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand what I was doing. I was also talking about how there's not another word like it in the entire English language is allowed to use it, and they can use it in so many different ways. Like if a white person says that word, it's racist and toxic, but a black person can use it and it could be a punchline, it could be a term of endearment.
Rogan released an emotional apology, admitting he'd been ignorant.
It could be lyrics to a rap song, it could be a positive affirmation. It's a very unusual word, but it's not my word to use. I'm well aware of that now.
There's no context where a white person should ever say that word, he said, before acknowledging another clip, where he compared being in a black neighborhood to being in Planet of the Apes.
And there's another clip that I have to address. There's a clip from 11 years ago. I was trying to make the story entertaining, and I said we got out, and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that.
He clarified he wasn't calling black people apes, but admitted it sure sounded like that. The backlash was brutal. Spotify stood by him, but his reputation took a hit that hasn't fully healed. Joe Rogan isn't your typical media personality. He's not polished, he's not filtered, and he's not afraid to disagree, even if it means going head-to-head with friends, scientists, or comedians. That makes the Joe Rogan Experience one of the most fascinating podcasts out there, and one of the most volatile. Which moment shocked you the most? Do you think Rogan crossed the line, or was he just being real? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss the next deep dive into the wild world of celebrity culture and podcast drama. See you next time.